Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today it's one of my replays again, and I'm in the Kurfürst, a tier 10 German battleship. I'm on the map Trap. It's a 3-point domination game, tier 11 battle with a 11 carrier, which is probably bad. I mean, I guess it could always be worse. There could be a submarine. World of Warships these days. It's pretty bad, but hey, it could be worse. Anyway, so we have taken the sea cap because the enemy destroyer was briefly forced out of the cap, but this is probably not going to last. When we look at the minmap, there is a large amount of enemies coming this way. Oh, I suppose we do have some friendlies here as well. B seems to be ignored by both sides somewhat. I mean, there are ships next to B, but nobody's inside. And let's hope that our team will be able to grab A. So for now, my division mate is reversing back into the camp to hopefully stop them from taking it. And, well, I'll have to decide what I do here. Now, I can't just push all of those enemies. That would be rather bad. But it's always almost in range, and I'll be able to get a few shots off on it. Now, if we were to push here forward around this island, like the Ruprecht is going this way, but I hope it's not gonna actually keep pushing north. The problem is you can see all of those ships that you would show broadside to, like the Hanover, the Patry, the Iowa. If you push here north, you're broadside to 3 battleships. You can't really angle unless you push into the camp, which is not going to be a very good idea with that many ships. On the other hand, there is a Cyclone coming, right? And that means that we will soon be able to brawl on our terms. Like, if you're brawling battleship, a Cyclone is your friend. Oh! Well, hello, destroy. So it looks like our Annapolis is raiding the enemy DD. And maybe we'll be able to finish it off here. That would be great. Now my secondaries are getting involved here. My main guns are still reloading. You know, I could hydro, but we've recently seen the enemy's torpedoes. Don't think there should be any more coming. But there's also a Smolensk visible, and I'm sort of debating shooting that, but I think shooting destroyer is more important. I'm waiting until, you know, the mountain is hopefully not blocking most of my shots. Well, it's blocking some of them. Let's hope I get... Well, I did get a hit in it. So the enemy destroyer escaped for now. Meanwhile, the Ruprecht is doing exactly what I said would be a bad idea, and we shall see how that works out for this Ruprecht. And I have a feeling it's not gonna work out so well. Oh yeah. It's got devastating struck by a Patry that it was broadside to. Please act surprised. Now meanwhile, unfortunately our team is refusing to help at A, which means we lost our destroyer there. So it could be looking a lot better. But speaking about better things, the enemy Kurfürst is pushing in, and it's kind of alone. Oh, as you can see, we are pretty much outnumbered here. Oh, and SJR just torpedoed an Iowa, that's also good news. So the enemy has a large force here, but this Kurfürst is kind of pushing me while getting torpedoed by my division mate and also being shot by an Edgar. So it's sort of a 3 versus 1 fight, despite the fact that the enemy is technically outnumbering us. Now I understand this Kurfürst wants to push because they have such a large force, but, you know, it pushed into a very bad situation, and I'm more than happy to use that. Meanwhile, our team at A has actually realized that they can move forward. You know, the sad part, the Druid doesn't even have torps, right? So nothing stopped those ships from pushing in there, but they waited until our friendly destroyer was farmed before they decided to move forward and try to actually do something. Meanwhile, the Kurfürst here has been dealt with. Unfortunately, it looks like my division mate is caught in a radar by a pushing Annapolis. Not that there is anything I can do about this currently, because I don't have shots at anything right now. Now the Cyclone has started. It's still in... Oh, the Annapolis is getting wrecked, nice. So the Cyclone has started, but it's still not in full effect. But the good news is, by the time I make it around this island, it's going to be strong enough to protect me. It looks like the Annapolis is surviving for now, but I can now push round, easily finish it off. I can also push into the sea cap now. Now, even without the Cyclone, there wouldn't be much of a crossfire anymore because the enemies got bored. They saw that they heavily outnumbered us and decided that they'd just leave. Which is good for us, right? So I can now come in and get rid of the Annapolis and then possibly push the Patry if it's still around. And with the Cyclone, I don't have to worry about any crossfire if the Tanova pushes into B or something like that. So there is the Annapolis, we get a salvo off. Now I need to turn, like my guns are unfortunately in a bad position for this, but I need to turn left to keep spotting the Annapolis and keep being able to shoot it. I also, you know, use a plane for some additional spotting here. Which, you know, did do absolutely nothing because the plane's already yet. But hey. The Annapolis is visible again. My secondary is doing a much better job than my main guns, but my main guns seal the deal. And now I'm actually gonna use a heal. I have been very healthy so far, but I think that health will become much useful in the brawl here. Now, I definitely played more passive because of a Cyclone, because I knew that that Cyclone would be a major advantage that we can use now. The game is still relatively even, and everybody can win here. So Patry is full broadside. This means I get exactly one overpen. I was hoping for a lot more, and I don't quite get to use my rear guns here. That was... Fortunately, it was no longer visible. Now the plane would have been very useful, wouldn't it? Now I need to angle a little bit better against this Patry, so I'm starting to turn. Probably not gonna use much of my rear guns here. The Patry, unfortunately, by now is angled, so... Oh, and the super carrier is also attacking me. Now, at this point, this is going to be all about the... well, secondaries, I guess. My secondaries are what really gives me an advantage. You know, Patry has somewhat reasonable secondaries, I think, but they should lack the penetration to actually do much other than start fires. The fires, though, can still be a problem. Now, speaking of problems, I could try to sit... Like, if it weren't for the carrier, I might even try to just sit here and take the cap before I push the Patry, wait for my Edgar to come around and then engage the Patry with the two of us. But the problem is I'm sort of on the clock, right? There's a super carrier, and that super carrier will keep attacking, which means there is no way I can cap, because I'll get interrupted. And, you know, there is nothing I can do against the plane, so it would just farm me slowly while I'm not doing anything. So I can understand why the Edgar says get back, because it wants to engage the Patry with the two of us. But without the carrier, it's just not possible, right? I'm basically on the clock, and sorry, I know you mean well, Edgar, but with the carrier's existence, there really is no choice here. I need to fight this Patry, since I still can. So, trying not to show too much broadside, but I need my secondaries to do something, and yeah, as you can see, the carrier just keeps coming and keeps coming, and I just have to hope I can get the enemy before the carrier finishes me off. Meanwhile, the Edgar is camping though, which is nice. And it looks like I'm winning this fight against the super ship. Or let's just say my secondaries are winning. Well, I mean, my main guns contribute as well, I suppose. Okay, so it looks like I survived this, but the carrier is gonna come back. Now I need 25 seconds until I can heal. Probably should have launched this plane slightly sooner. Now the good news is the Edgar is here to help with its anti-air, and that was actually pretty effective. Surprisingly effective, to be honest. And oh, there is the eagle. Oh, you overcommitted. That was a very bad move there. Oh yes, I like those hits. Now it looks like an Annapolis is pushing in and is actually fighting the Edgar right now, but I only have eyes for that carry. Now it's coming in with some planes, and Where the hell is it dropping? I mean, I'm getting on pretty low health. Those torpedoes hit pretty hard from a super carrier, and there was absolutely no way I could have dodged them because it was broadside. But the carrier panicked and just dropped not where I was. But you know, by now it looks like we have actually turned this around and we are winning. Now all that remains is to push the last remaining enemies. And you know what? I'm actually pretty close to a Kraken. Maybe I can get it. So at this point, I'm very confident in our victory and I'll just push in head first. Now, I guess technically I would wanna push in the same time as the Edgar, but then again, we don't know where exactly the enemy is. And with the Cyclone, it's entirely possible that despite us coming around from both sides, only one of us is able to engage an enemy anyway. So let's see, I'm still hoping to find the Annapolis here broadside or something for a nice easy Kraken. Oh, but I found a Hanover plane instead, so maybe I'm running into Hanover first. Okay, the Hanover is spotted by the Edgar right now, and there is the Hanover. I can see it now myself. You know what? This Hanover is pretty healthy, but what it's gonna do if I try to ram? Now, I haven't quite shot yet because I was trying to see if I can also see the Annapolis. That's not happening, and that was very badly aimed on my part. The Hanover was too angled for me to penetrate. I should have just gone for the superstructure. So my bad. And now I could really use those shell against the Annapolis. So I'm switching my seconders to the Annapolis because, you know, I'm greedy. So the idea is I just ram the Hanover, either that works or not. So all of my shells are now for the Annapolis. Oh yeah, this is looking good. This is looking splendid. Now if I turn enough, well, I mean, I want to turn anyway to keep ramming the Hanover. That's obviously the main goal. If I could use my rear guns for the Annapolis, will I be able to? Not quite. Was almost ready to shoot, but hey, the ram took priority. And that gives us a Kraken, a strike team, you know, like Division Kraken, and a lot of nice achievements. What an amazing finish. Well, speaking of finishing, somebody please get at Annapolis and end this. Well now, after a slow start, this turned out pretty well with getting over 300,000 points of damage, a high caliber strike team, so the division high caliber with even only 2 of us in a division. And a lovely ram to finish. Oh, I like my Kurfürst. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I hope you had some fun and some laughs along the way. And I'll see you next time.